Okay, we have just a couple of quick things that I'm going to review. One change, one revision I'm going to do, and then I'll show you how to actually get your text files from your computer onto your NXT. Alright, so we're going to go into Vidya, which stands for Video Games. Never mind. Open a fileDriver, and over here where it says Turn, if we open that up, you'll notice that I have removed part of my program with this my block. I've replaced it with this my block called Wait for Degrees. And what that does is it was simply this duration and this big loop. It does the exact same thing that it was doing before, except now this is in a my block, and the reason for that is because I'm going to want to reuse this code. So all this code does is it gets a certain number of degrees to wait, and it waits until the average of the absolute values of the rotation sensors for both drive motors is greater than that value. So if I go into FD Turn, you'll notice that I've kind of slightly refactored the code in here. Move. I've slightly refactored the code in here. Originally this was set for rotations. And this piece of code was originally right over here. And it was connected to duration. It was connected up just like this. So I would read in the amount of durations, multiply by 360, get the degrees, and it would be plugged into the duration here on my move block. Now, which was, of course, on rotations. I don't want that to be the case anymore. I want it to be so that it will go unlimited, and I will control, of course this was not here originally either, I will control when I break by using this wait for degrees. The reason for this is because while you do lose out on the this locking effect that the motors have, surely you've seen them when they run and then they stop and they actually kind of lock backwards and forwards into place real quick. You lose out on that aspect, but you can go quicker. The benefit for this is, of course, in the competitive missions, and just generally saving you a second here, a half second here, a half second there. Because having 5 extra seconds may not sound like much, it may not be much, but this year you at least have a mechanism to take advantage of any extra time by delivering bacteria to the sink and what have you. So over here, I've not actually changed the order that I have to write my programs, the commands in my program in, my text file. I have just shifted this over and set wait for degrees. So it's not actually going to break. If I want this thing to break, I'm going to have to add a break statement in here. So I can go like this. So I'm going to go forward, turn, forward, break, and exit. This is actually going to be a program that you will see run in just a little bit, and it shows a very simple robot going and getting the rat. Ever so slightly quicker than what you'd be capable of doing without this program. So here I have it set to break. I don't actually need it in this example. I've already gone ahead and tested it. But let's say that I wanted to add some comments. Oh, I should add that this only gets the rat. That's all it does. It does not actually bring it back to base. Alright, so this could say, we have the rat. And if you wanted to, you could preface it with your little comment command. It doesn't actually matter. It's going to ignore everything it doesn't recognize. However, I would like to point out that if you mess up and accidentally say, move forward for 2 rotations, instead of saying move forward for 100, power, move forward at 100 power for 2 rotations, that will be bad. That will mess it up. However, this generally unidentified stuff in here is going to be ignored. Keep in mind that tons and tons of white space will actually slow down the program by a small, negligible amount, but if you're really pressing for speed, just leave it at that one line between commands. It's more readable that way anyways. But of course, you don't have to separate breakout like this. You could go and say move forward 100% power for 1.75 rotations, then break, and that will all work fine. Alright, so I'm going to save this and go down here, click over on memory, and I'm going to plug in my NXT and turn it on. Now you see it should switch over to available. There we go. Click download. And I have it saved under My Documents, Dropbox, Video. Click All Files. Oops, that doesn't need to be here. Well, hold on a moment. Computer's being annoying. Okay. Select my RAT. Now notice I had to select all files. If I didn't, nothing shows up. All files. Select the RAT program. Okay, and if I click on Other, you will see it right there, 0.2 kilobytes. Then I can go ahead and close. It downloads basically immediately. So I'm going to go back over here to my top-level program and change the name to RAT. It was file test or something like that earlier. Now I'm simply going to download this program once, because once I have a program that runs the commands in that file, I don't have to re-download and recompile that program. All I have to do is just change the commands in the text file. So by doing that, I can write new programs. Also, let's say that you wanted to just use this for part of your program. Like, let's say you wanted to get to right in front of the sink or near it for multiple different missions. Like when you went to go to the table, to the sink, or to go to the far wall, you could have one that says, that's just called in front of sink. Okay, and you could have a text file called in front of sink. Of course, I would give it a more easily rememberable, shorter name, like you see, RAT. As terse as you can be while being clear is the way to do it. So you could have that and then build the rest of your program over here, and then you could even have another file driver that will take you back home. So that's just about all we're going to do. I'm going to show you a video of this working in just a moment, and hopefully you can figure out some exciting things to do with this.